Welcome. How are you guys doing today? Welcome back. Thanks for taking your time to check out Hello Good Game. Today we're playing Mono Red Devotion, and this deck reached Mythic place number 6, piloted by Sorxy. You're gonna have to pardon my pronunciation on your name, Sorxy, but I think you need to apologize to all of us for this deck. It is absolutely rude. One of my favorite archetypes, Mono Red Aggro, is here to represent today, you guys. Check this deck out. We have 4 Fervent Champions. First strike haste 1/1. Whenever he attacks, another attacking knight you control is going to get +1/+0 until end of turn, which is really only himself and Rimrock Knight in this deck, but still it's that little extra value that's going to count. Equip abilities you activate that target Fervent Champion costs 3 less to activate, so that comes in play with Embercleave and our Shadow Spear. Shock times 3 deals 2 damage to any target. Purphoros Intervention, choose one, create an X1 elemental creature token with trample and haste, sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step, or it deals twice X damage to target creature or planeswalker. So sometimes it's really nice to just get that final trample damage in, and other times you really need to get rid of, say, a Dream Trawler or a Teferi on the field. Moving on to our 2-drops, we have 4 Rimrock Knights. Boulder Rush, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn, and then he himself is a 3/1 who cannot block. Robber of the Rich, reach plus haste, it's a 2/2. Whenever it attacks, if defending player has more cards in their hand than you do in yours, you're going to look at the top card of their deck, and you're going to be able to play it whenever a rogue you control attacks. And you can cast, of course, your mana as any color to play that spell. Moving on to our 3-drops, we have Bonecrusher Giant. We have Stomp, which is a 2-cast spell. Damage can't be prevented this turn. Stomp deals 2 damage to any target. We also have the Bonecrusher Giant himself, which is a 4/3. Whenever he becomes the target of a spell, it's going to deal 2 damage to that spell's controller. Anax, Hardened in the Forge. Anax's power is equal to your devotion to red. Whenever Anax or another non-token creature you control dies, create a 1/1 satyr creature token with this creature cannot block. If the creature had power 4 or greater, create 2 of those tokens instead, which is really cool, especially when we're comboing that with Torbrand, right? All of a sudden those 1/1s are 3/1s. We have 4 Phoenix of Ash. Flying haste, you can pay 3, give it +2/+0 until end of turn. You can also escape it for 4, plus exiling 3 cards from your graveyard. It's going to come in with an additional 1/1 counter on it, and its base value is a 2/2, which is not bad considering it has flying and haste. Moving on to our 4-drops, we have Tectonic Giant. Whenever Tectonic Giant attacks or becomes the target of a spell your opponent controls, choose one. Tectonic Giant deals 3 damage to each opponent. Yes, please. Exile the top 2 cards of your library, choose one of them until end of your next turn. You may play that card, so just a little bit of an extra draw if we need. We also have Torbrand, Thrain of Redfell. If a red source you control will deal damage to an opponent or permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much +2. So that is absolutely insane. We also have our favorite card, Embercleave. This is a 6-drop. It has flash, but it costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature we control. So we could trim this back to 2 if we have 4 attacking creatures, right? Equipped creature gets +1/+1, has double strike and trample, and then afterwards we can re-equip it to another creature for 3 or to our Fervent Champion for 0. So that's really cool. We're rocking 24 lands, 2 of which are our Castle Embereth. You can tap it, plus 3 other lands. Creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Again, when we're going wide with satyr tokens, this could be the extra sauce that gets that biscuit down the hole. With that all being said, you guys, some of the basic strategy here is really simple. Put those cards out, turn them sideways, hit your opponent. Again, if you're going to play against counter decks, this is probably one of the more important parts. Save your instances or sorceries until their end step, because then maybe you can get them to counter on their own turn, which is going to leave their mana tapped, and now you can play freely on your own turn with some of our haste creatures, and maybe even sneaking a Torbrand on the field. So, thanks for watching this video. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it so far. We have some really good footage for you today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check us out every morning on Twitch, 6 a.m. PST. And yeah, I just can't thank you enough for how much this channel is growing, and I hope to see you all again tomorrow. Peace. Alright, so we had a couple recording mishaps today. I'm hoping this is better. I've not even tested it. We should have tested it before we did this. What am I, a fool? We're gonna roll with it though and run on simple prayers Oh shoot, we're definitely going to play first here. And we're definitely going to keep this hand. Our Tectonic Giant is a 1-of in the deck, so it's always kind of neat when we get to incorporate that into our play. Knock my glasses off, jeez. Alright, so this is going to be our 4th take recording this video. We know the deck inside and out, so I hope you guys are ready to learn a thing or two. Fervent Champion attacks. When he attacks, another knight gets +1/+0, which is great because we have multiple Fervent Champions. We also have Rimrock Knights, which are going to combo with him quite nicely, especially if we can get that Embercleave in play. And again, we're going to see this in action immediately. So these knights will become 2/1s because they both power one another up. We seem to have misplaced our glass cleaner as well. We could have went in with our Rimrock Knight there, but sometimes because the champions have first strike, I like to save the combat tricks and potentially get a kill that our opponent didn't expect out of it because of the first strike. But it looks like he's going slow. Let's drop our Anax. We are absolutely okay with that. And again, coming plummeting in for an additional 4, down to 11. And opt. All right. I mean, our opponent definitely is playing the longer game than we are. We are a pure aggro deck, looking to seal the win by turn 4, turn 5 at the latest. Another land there would have been ideal. Let's go ahead and just aggro in for an additional 8. Okay, so we see Brazen Borrower drop, which is fine because we can just immediately replay him this same turn. So we're gonna save our combat tricks, replaying our Anax. And he did stop 4 damage, which is great. He's going to need to stop the other 8 that's on the field here because now it's lethal. He could have a Flame Sweep, right? Storm's Wrath. There you go. That's it. We're going to get 3 1/1s, which is great. That's just about going to do it. Is there 4 there? 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe there is. We can just buff up with our Castle Embereth. We can also Rimrock Knight and Shot. So there's multiple ways we can finish this match here, right? Just like that. Let's see what we can do in game 2 to try to counter Temur. So we've seen the Brazen Borrower. We've seen Storm's Wrath. Something we always like to do is we go back and we view the battlefield. So that's the top right here, you can find that there. And we look at their graveyard just to familiarize yourself with what we've dealt with. Kind of look at their hand if there's anything revealed to us. And then we go back to our sideboard. We like the fact... Well, he didn't gain life, but he does have the option. We're going to take the Tibalt because we know he has the potential to gain life. We're also going to take a Chandra because he doesn't have direct removal for it. Just a 1-of, kind of saucing it up a little bit. And as far as what we're dropping, an Intervention, I believe, can go. Tectonic Giant, I believe, can go. And probably... maybe we'll just run 1 Tibalt for now until we confirm that he has life gain, at which point we can sub in an additional to make sure we deal with it, right? Okay, so this is a lot of land. That's more land than we'd ever like to see. This is much better. And I believe we should toss the shock. But I'm gonna toss land because there's 22 lands in this deck. So the chances of us drawing a third and fourth are pretty high. Right, so there is our third. I would have felt like a monkey's uncle if I had tossed our Torbrand instead of the land and then drawn a land immediately after to have 4 land, right? That's the kind of way I think of it. There's 22 lands in the deck, but only 4 Torbrands. Our opponent does appear to have potentially a shock or a 1-drop of sorts. We will leave it and pass, holding up our Bonecrusher Giant on his end step. Hero is going to gain life like we suspected and draw a card. It's really quite good. Play another land onto the battlefield as well. So very nice ramp. We're going to play our Bonecrusher Giant now. Our turn. Just playing the Giant again, withholding our hand. We don't really want to reveal that we have all these haste phoenixes, potentially until Torbrand is on the field. You have to excuse me today. I'm catching a cough, it would appear. So he has plenty of land. He's using it to scry, which is not the worst. So we have a Castle Embereth. We play our Torbrand. Now we're hitting for 6. It's a good start. Next turn we have 1 Phoenix for sure. And a potential shock, but again he wipes the field. And that's gonna hurt, you guys. That hurts. Ouch. Main phase growth spiral. I'll allow it. Luckily we have these Phoenixes. They're gonna take us home. Down to 13. He's on a potential 4-turn timer, I believe. Just because we'll play our second Phoenix. Three turns. Well, there are things like Gadwick that's going to throw a wrench into this. He does draw for all of his mana. And then untaps here. What a real rude boy. Alright, we've got a secondary Phoenix. Does he have counter magic? He could even play spells to tap my Phoenixes afterwards. So the fact that he's Gadwick on the field is really going to help him. He needs to do it right here. Hopefully he doesn't. Okay, returns one, taps the other. Could be worse. Let's play our Phoenix again. Our opponent has a lot of available mana, a lot of available cards, and a lot of utility with Gadwick. Ouch, he's bouncing him again. So that's 2 borrowers. They can only block flyers, which is exactly what we're trying to get through with. He's going in with the attack. I guess the other does have flash. Let's keep that in mind. Incredible. He just has so much value right here. A secondary Wilderness Reclamation. Oh my gosh. What do we even do in this situation? We are just getting outpaced 4-1 at a certain point. He has plenty of attackers. Plenty of mana. Plenty of cards. Needs 1 more in his graveyard to put his Titan on the field, at which point the game's basically over. He's scrying with his Castle Embereth. That's going to do some work for him as well. We don't have much of a chance, but we can try. So let's shock his Brazen Borrower. He allows it. Let's try our second Phoenix again. Allowing that as well. We're gonna double attack and try to push our Rimrock Knight if we can. Does he have another Brazen Borrower? That is Scoop Town. Good game. 3 in a row. That is a lot of mythics, boy. Let's see if we can try to just outpace him. We're not worried about life gain. We have more of a problem with these enchantments and the tapping of us via Gadwick. What we need is protection from blue. Bonecrusher Giant is good because when he targets it, that's going to help us. That's bad because he can just return that anytime. And let's continue to sneak that Chandra because it could be a late game. But then again, Brazen Borrower just return target non-land permanent, right? To its owner's hand, which sucks. We're gonna toss our Torbran here. Bonecrusher Giant has more value in this match because he's just gonna bounce it back. And that way, at least if he's bouncing this back, we get to re-stomp. So that is not an ideal target, and he's going to take damage when he tries to bounce it as well. So, let's try to nip this in the butt, you guys. Mountain Champion, please and thank you. If he doesn't play anything for us to remove, we go in with our Robber. If removal is required, we step on him. No removal required. Robber's in play. We're actually going to take the top card of his library now. Put it into exile. It was a land. Hopefully that is enough to set pace. And we would like to draw into our Torbran now. We did get our second. So it's a good thing we tossed him. That's working out. Let's do our attack first. He's sitting on a Brazen Borrower, I'm sure of it. There it is. So it's nice to get it out in the open at least, right? Let's get that attack in. And we're gonna end our turn keeping Robert in our hand and trying to step on him at the end of his step here. Okay, so we have no attackers to fear, or defenders, sorry. He is, of course, gaining life, drawing a card, putting a land onto the field. I'm not sure what else you could do. That's so much value. Okay, he's fully tapped, so let's just get this damage in. He has 4 in his hand, so we can just attack this way and see what our exile card is before we cast our Rimrock Knight. We can't cast it for 1, so we do go in just for that little extra 2 points of damage. Down to 9. It's looking not the worst. Again, if we can survive the field wipes, everything will be a lot better. So it hits the field again from exile. Just ramping, drawing that card. Very cool stuff. If we draw land, Torbrand comes out. If not, it's going to be the Bonecrusher Giant. This is going to be very good. That subscription notification scared the bejeebus out of me. Thank you though, appreciate that. We get quite a bit of damage in. He's down to 5. He can't drop his Titans. He needs 5 in exile for that. He is continuing to opt, which is accessible. Perfect. Alright you guys, that's our mono red devotion deck. This deck reached mythic rank number 6, piloted by Sorxy. Again, make sure to check out MTG Arena Zone for all of your Magic the Gathering news, and be sure to stay tuned to our Twitch every morning, 6 a.m. PST, as we are bringing it to you live. We'd love for you to stop in and join the community. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. So we're seeing just how powerful Anax is. When he dies, or any other creature you control dies, you're going to create those 1/1s, and if it has a power 4 or greater, you're going to be creating 2 of them every turn. So that is very, very strong, especially when you have a Torbrand on the field, and they're all doing 3 damage each. Keeping the land, tossing a Rimrock Knight. Probably could have tossed the land, but it's always kind of fun to keep 3. It's such a good base. 3 land in a starting opening hand. Very ideal. Even if you're an aggro deck. Kill his Leafkin Druid. Any mana ramp is very good, so we're grateful to have that off the field. He has another. Let's see if he falls for it twice in a row. He does not. We can get our Rimrock Knight out, and then we're going to hold Shock in our hand because we'd rather cast it after our Torbrand hits the field next turn. Cavalier Thorns is very good. That's going to shut down every ounce of attack power we have. No attacks. He can play his Titan as well, which is less than ideal. This is going to be a good game for our opponent. Salt Knight representing. I'm not even seeing him play black yet, you guys. I'm scared. What is it used for? Alright, I mean, at least this does something. Let's go ahead and just blow up. This match is over anyways. Losing both our Fervent Champions here. Than I thought. We lose our Torbrang and Rimrock Knight. He loses his Cavalier, but he stacks his deck with a Nissa. Or no, it's Creature. Burrow's too powerful for us. And now he's laying it with Aggro Crisis. So, is it full hand? We've got nothing. That's going to be game. And let's try to sideboard for this as best we can. So again, we know he's got the life gain. Rakedish Instigator is going to help us a little bit here. He's got the aggro as well. You know what I mean? 6/6/4/4/0/3. But then he's going to be attacking us. Well, actually, we'll take this, and we probably want to take out a cleave for a little bit of life gain. Let's drop 2 cleaves, and we'll take 2 Shadow Spears. We can also maybe drop the Intervention and our Giant. Let's drop a Knight. Let's drop a Giant. Really trying to spaz out with our opening hand here. We shut down his life gain, which is going to be a problem for any red deck. We're going to play first. We do get that 3. We have a Rakedish Instigator, which does shut it down, but it's a very slow start for us. Rimrock Knight hits the field. I don't think we need life gain on turn 3. We're gonna go in with our Anax and Forge, just so it can attack when we do lay our Tibalt down.